Florida is a state in the southeastern region of the United States. It has the second longest coastline in the country, spanning approximately 1,350 miles, not including its many barrier islands. With a population of over 21 million, it is the third most populous in the U.S. and ranks 8th in population density as of 2020. Florida spans 65,758 square miles, ranking 22nd in area among the states. The Miami metropolitan area, anchored by the cities of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach, is the state's largest metropolitan area, with a population of 6.138 million. The most populous city is Jacksonville. Florida's other major population centers include Tampa Bay, Orlando, Cape Coral, and the state capital of Tallahassee. Florida's climate varies from subtropical in the north to tropical in the south. It is the only state besides Hawaii to have a tropical climate, and the only continental state with both a tropical climate, located at the southern portion of the state, and a coral reef. Florida has several unique ecosystems, including Everglades National Park, the largest tropical wilderness in the U.S. and among the largest in the Americas. Unique wildlife include the alligator, crocodile, flamingo, roseate spoonbill, Florida panther, bottlenose dolphin, and manatee. Due to its climate, Florida rarely receives measurable snowfall. On rare occasions, a combination of cold moisture and freezing temperatures can result in snowfall in the farthest northern regions like Jacksonville, Gainesville, or Pensacola. Frost, which is more common than snow, sometimes occurs in the Panhandle. Florida's nickname is the Sunshine State, but severe weather is a common occurrence in the state. Central Florida is known as the lightning capital of the United States, as it experiences more lightning strikes than anywhere else in the country. Florida has one of the highest average precipitation levels of any state, in large part because afternoon thunderstorms are common in much of the state from late spring until early autumn. A narrow eastern part of the state, including Orlando and Jacksonville, receives between 2,400 and 2,800 hours of sunshine annually. The rest of the state, including Miami, receives between 2,800 and 3,200 hours annually. From 1851 to 2006, Florida was struck by 114 hurricanes, 37 of them major, Category 3 and above. It is rare for a hurricane season to pass without any impact in the state by at least a tropical storm. In 1992, Florida was the site of what was then the costliest weather disaster in U.S. history, Hurricane Andrew, which caused more than $25 billion in damages when it struck during August. It held that distinction until 2005, when Hurricane Katrina surpassed it, and it has since been surpassed by 6 other hurricanes. Andrew is the second costliest hurricane in Florida's history. The state has more than 26,000 square miles of forests, covering about half of the state's land area. The basic structure, duties, function, and operations of the government of the state of Florida are defined by the Florida Constitution, which establishes the basic law of the state and guarantees various rights and freedoms of the people. The state government's primary revenue source is sales tax. Florida is one of 8 states that do not impose a personal income tax. The economy of the state is the 4th largest in the United States, with a whopping $1.2 trillion GSP as of 2021. If Florida were a sovereign nation, it would rank as the world's 16th largest economy according to the International Monetary Fund, ahead of Indonesia and behind Mexico. Tourism is a large portion of Florida's economy. Florida is home to the world's most visited theme park, the Magic Kingdom. Florida is also home to the largest single-site employer in the United States, Walt Disney World. Port Miami is the largest passenger port in the world and one of the largest cargo ports in the United States. Beach towns have many visitors too, as Florida is known around the world for its beaches. Agriculture is another large part of the Florida economy. Florida is the #1 grower of oranges for juice, mangoes, fresh tomatoes, sugar, sweet corn, green beans, cucumbers, watermelons, and more. Florida is also the second biggest producer of strawberries, avocados, grapefruit, and peppers in the U.S. Thousands of plant species have been documented in Florida. Of these, several hundred are trees, many growing in the forested areas that cover about half of the state. Pines, oaks, cypresses, palms, and mangroves are the dominant varieties. Many tropical trees thrive in the state's southern regions, while beech, red maple, sweet gum, tulip magnolia, and hickory are common in the north. Nearly half of the tree species found in the United States grow in Florida. More than 400 species and subspecies of birds have been documented, although that number increases as new birds migrate and are identified each year. There are vast natural rookeries in the Everglades and elsewhere, and numerous wildlife refuges are maintained for the protection of migratory birds and other animals. The alligator is the king of Florida's reptiles, and its role as a builder of water holes is vital to the ecology of the southern part of the state. The related crocodile, an endangered species, still inhabits part of Everglades National Park. More than 40 species of snakes are found in the state, including the country's 4 poisonous types: the coral snake, rattlesnake, cottonmouth, and copperhead. The latter inhabits limited areas of northern Florida. Florida's roughly 6,250 square miles of water contains several hundred species of fish and shellfish. With an educational system made up of public school districts and independent private institutions, Florida had 2.8 million students enrolled in 4,269 public primary, secondary, and vocational schools in Florida's 67 regular or 7 special school districts as of 2018. Florida spent $8,920 for each student in 2016 and was 43rd in the U.S. in expenditures per student. Florida's primary and secondary school systems are administered by the Florida Department of Education. School districts are organized within county boundaries. Each school district has an elected board of education that sets policy, budget, goals, and approves expenditures. Management is the responsibility of a superintendent of schools. The State University System of Florida was founded in 1905 and is governed by the Florida Board of Governors. During the 2019 academic year, 346,604 students attended one of these 12 universities. In 2016, Florida charged the second lowest tuition in the U.S. for 4-year programs, at $26,000 for in-state students and $86,000 for out-of-state students. This compares with an average of $34,800 for in-state students. In conclusion, Florida is a state of great diversity, from its varied ecosystems and wildlife to its economic sectors and cultural influences. With its rich history, unique climate, and vibrant cities, it's no wonder that it's one of the most populous states in the U.S. Whether you're a lover of the outdoors, a history buff, or someone who enjoys the hustle and bustle of city life, Florida has something to offer for everyone. So why not come and experience the Sunshine State for yourself? If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It helps the channel a lot.